Good morning, student. Today, our next topic is new notions of kingship. Notions means principles of kingship. First of all, I am telling you about the chiefs and the kings of South. Chiefs or chiefdoms. A chief is a powerful man whose position may or may not be hereditary. He derives supports from his kinfolk. His functions may include performing special rituals, leadership in welfare, and arbitrating the disputes or solve the disputes. He receives gifts from his subordinates and often distributes these amongst his supporters. Generally, there are no regular armies and officials in the chiefdoms or the chiefs. Now I am telling you about the southern kingdoms which emerged in the southern part of India, the new kingdoms, Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. These new kingdoms that emerged in the Deccan and further south, including the chiefdoms of the Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. Now, the main sources. How can we know about these main kingdoms of this south? The name of the ancient country, which include the parts of the present day Andhra Pradesh and Kerala and Tamil Nadu even also. So in all these states, we see the Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas. Now the main sources, we know about these states from a variety of sources. The early Tamil Sangam text contains poems describing chiefs and the ways in which they acquire and distribute the resources. Now the next one is the Satvahana kings. Many chiefs and kings, including the Satavahanas, who rules over the parts of the western and the central India in the 2nd century BC to 2nd century CE. Then the Shakas, the next king, the Shakas, a people of Central Asian origin who established kingdoms in the northwestern and the western part of the subcontinent. Shakas derived revenues from the long distance trades. Then the next one is the Kushanas, the Kushan rulers. Kushan rulers were very powerful and they had a good and very high status in the societies. One means of claiming high status was to identify with the variety of deities. The Kushanas rulers they extended their kingdom from Central Asia to northwest India in the 1st century BC to 1st century CE. Now the main sources. How can we know about the Kushana's rulers? They were also called the divine kings even also. The main sources. The main sources were the inscriptions and the textual traditions. Then we also getting the knowledge from the coins and the sculptures of that time. Then the colossal statues. Colossal means very big statues of Kushana rulers have been found installed in a shrine at Math near Mathura. And the same similar statues have been found in the shrine in the Afghanistan as well. Our some historians feel this indicates that the Kushans consider themselves god-like, that they also believe that they are here just like as a god. Many Kushan rulers also adopted the title Devaputra. Devaputra means son of God, possibly inspired by Chinese rulers who called themselves the son of heaven. Now the next one is the Gupta Empire. Gupta Empire. First of all, who were Guptas? rulers of Magdha, now in Bihar, state in northeastern India. They maintained an empire over northern and parts of central and western India from early 4th to late 6th century CE. In this map here you see the dark portion. The whole area, this whole vast empire was under the Gupta Empire, Gupta's kings. These Gupta's kings, they were dependent on the Samantas. These Samantas were also very powerful. They maintained themselves through the local resources, including the control over land. They offered homage and provided military support to the rulers. It means that they maintain the military. These Samantas maintain military, and whenever the rulers or the kings wanted the help, so these Samantas provided the military to their rulers. So now in this way we see the Samans were very powerful, and that's why the powerful Samantas could become kings. Conversely, the weak rulers might find themselves being reduced to position of subordination. So in this way we see that later on these Samantas were the kings. Now through which sources? How can we know about this vast empire of Guptas? There were many sources which give us the knowledge about this powerful Gupta's ruler. The first one is the literature, coins, and inscriptions. Give us the knowledge. Then the Prashasti, composed in praise of kings, in particular, and patterns of journals by poets. Poets, they were wrote the poems in the praise of the kings. So that Prashastis give us the knowledge about the Gupta's rulers. Then we also found the Prayaga Prashasti, that was also known as the Allahabad Pillar inscription, composed in Sanskrit by Harisena, the court poet of the Samundragupta. That was in the 4th century. Give us the knowledge about this Gupta's ruler Samundragupta. Then, then the literary resources Kalidasa Abhigyan Shakuntalam, Meghdootam, all these literary work also give us the knowledge about the Gupta's ruler. Then the writing of Chinese travelers, that is from the Fahayan and the Hunsang. Then many artifacts we also found from here, and the temples, and then the very I'm just told you about the closest statues of the Kushana ruler. That sculptures give us the knowledge about the Gupta's ruler. And the last one, iron pillar at Mehroli, which also give us the knowledge of this vast Gupta's rulers. Okay, thank you student. Next topic we will cover in our next video.